All right. Good morning, everybody. We're live here from the birdhouse, and it is already May 20th, and the migration continues. So, going to show some different birds that people are getting in their yards, how you can attract them to your yards. As always, we want to know what kind of things you are seeing. You can put those in the comments. If you have any questions, you can put those in there too, or you can just say hi and we will get started here. First of all, is today is an exciting day because our birding cruises start today. So we have 5 birding cruises on the small Rivery boat this year, and then we also have one on the Colonial Belle. The first couple of cruises on the Rivery boats are sold out, so all of our spring Rivery cruises are sold out, but there are still some spots left on the Colonial Belle birding cruise, which is this boat right here. It's got the wide open top, and that is on next Thursday, so that is the 29th. There are still some spots available. If you are interested, there are still some tickets. That being said, if you want to be on the smaller Rivery boat, we do have a couple of spots open still for the July cruise, and then there's also an August and September. So the birding cruises start today. It's going to be a beautiful day, and excited to get out there again on the boat and be birding, especially during spring migration. Although last time we did the birding cruises, we were seeing things all summer long, which was really, really cool, and different things. Each month we seem to find new and different things, which was really cool. But we are definitely still in spring migration, and I've said it before, but this is the month where we can see up to 238 different species in the area. So that's at least in my county where I am. This is the amount of species that are just rolling in, and wherever you are, it's probably the same. Might not be the same exact birds, but it's probably similar because we're getting a lot of those neotropical migrants coming from Central and South America. And I thought today I would include some of the thrush species because I've been seeing and hearing more of them. This is one you're probably pretty familiar with, the American robin, common bird here. Sometimes we do have them in the winter, but they're very, very common in the spring and summer. It's hard not to go outside and see one. They will come to backyards pretty often, but not so much coming to bird feeders, but they will come to bird baths. So if you're trying to attract some of these thrush species, a bird bath is the way to go. That, and they'll also eat mealworms too. So especially if you sprinkle them on the ground, because they're usually hopping around on the ground, don't be surprised if you see some of these thrush species like the American robin eating those mealworms. So American robin, very common thrush species that we have here. But if you're going out birding or even just in your backyard, you might start to see some of these other thrushes passing through. Things like hermit thrush. Hermit thrush have more speckles on their breasts than the robin do. You can see their coloration is quite different, but they do have kind of this chestnut reddish colored tail. And you're most likely to see them in the woods, in a wooded area. Same with these next couple of thrush species. But sometimes as they're passing through, I had a hermit thrush in my backyard just 2 or 3 weeks ago, just hanging out in my driveway. So you never know what you're going to see outside in your backyard. But if you take a walk through the woods right now, you'll probably be hearing the songs of the wood thrush. They are very, very chatty right now. They're singing, and their beautiful songs are echoing through the woods. They have a lot of speckles on their breasts. They have that bright white eye ring, and they have a very distinctive song. So wood thrush, and then also this thrush species, the veery, is out there right now, and boy, are they singing a lot too. So if you take a walk through the woods, turn on your Merlin ID app, and you might just be hearing the songs of these beautiful thrush species in the woods. The veery is more lightly colored, more a light cinnamon brown, and doesn't have as much speckling on it as the wood thrush or the hermit thrush, but they are all out, especially in wooded areas right now, and getting ready for that nesting season. As far as backyards go, some things that you're probably seeing in your yard are the bright yellow American goldfinch. They are not nesting yet. They nest late in the season, sometimes not until July or so. So they nest in a couple of months, but they're definitely out and they are eating lots of Niger seed. They've got that bright gold plumage back. And don't be surprised if you also see things like pine siskin mixed in with them. And the pine siskin are here in the bottom part of the photo. They've got more stripes on them. They've got those yellow patches. This is a photo sent in by Mark, who had both goldfinches and pine siskins at his feeder. And at your finch feeders, keep an eye out for those indigo buntings because they do come to finch feeders sometimes, as well as sunflower feeders. So you just never know, you might get yourself an indigo bunting as well. But if your yard is anything like mine, you might be having lots of house finches. I don't know if I've ever had as many house finches as I have been having this year. The males have the red on them, and the red on their head and the red on their breast, and then the females don't, but they both have quite a bit of striping on them. So house finches are definitely here, and they are coming to feeders, and they are hungry too. And other birds at the feeders, of course, the orioles are here. And it is still that time of the year where they're eating lots of jelly. They're eating the oranges and they're drinking the nectar. So keeping the jelly out right now is really good. I just saw a female yesterday weaving together a nest. They are in the nest building process right now. Probably don't have any eggs yet, unless they started kind of early. But we'll let you know when that time of the year is that their eggs have hatched and they're feeding their young, and they're feeding their young a lot of mealworms. So we always recommend giving some kind of mealworms or switching out your jelly cup with a mealworm cup and feeding them mealworms. We're not totally there yet. Right now we're still at that jelly and nectar and oranges stage of what to be feeding the orioles, but we'll keep you posted on when to start giving them those mealworms. It's probably going to be about 3 weeks or so. It's usually mid-June or so is when they're really starting to come to those mealworms. And don't be surprised if you see things like gray catbird coming to your jelly feeder too. We're getting lots of reports of gray catbird, and they love the grape jelly. And then you never know what else you might see. You might get a warbler or who knows what coming to your jelly feeder. I've been getting the house finches eating my the jelly out of my feeder. But I love this photo here of a northern parula that Lisa caught a photo of coming to her jelly feeder. And then hummingbirds. We are hearing of hummingbirds coming back. Lots of people are asking where they are. They haven't seen a lot of them yet. And that's kind of been the case over the past several years. Is some people have had really good luck and good success with attracting the hummingbirds, and then other people not so much, but they've had really good success with attracting orioles. So it's kind of a mixed bag. We're not sure if the hummingbirds, if they're going through any kind of declines or what the story is, but they're definitely in the area. Whether or not they're coming to the feeders, that's been kind of iffy with some people, but you can always supplement those feeders with plants as well. So things like cardinal flower and just bright red tubular flowers, bright orange tubular flowers are great for attracting the hummingbirds. And there's definitely lots of warblers out there. And if you go outside and you put on your Merlin app, you'll probably hear at least some of them calling. And I'll share with you some of the ones I've been seeing and hearing over the last few days. But putting out water is great for them. Not only can water attract things like warblers, you might get scarlet tanager coming to the water, especially if you have a moving water feature, which you can always create by putting a solar fountain insert into a bird bath. I heard my first scarlet tanager and actually saw it too yesterday, which was really, really exciting. Haven't seen one in a couple of years. But I heard one high up in the trees while out hiking. And sure enough, I caught a glimpse of that bright red bird. They're a gorgeous, gorgeous bird. And they will sometimes come to backyards, especially bird baths, and sometimes even bird feeders too, if there are sunflower hearts in the bird feeder. So just a couple more photos of warblers at water features. Lee sent these in, I think, on Saturday. And he says, I spotted 3 new lifers for me on Thursday at my little backyard pond. My haiku box in Merlin picked up 5 different warblers in the morning. I was able to get a picture of 3 of them. The Tennessee and bay-breasted were bathing and drinking in the pond, and the chestnut-sided was waiting in a nearby bush. I wasn't able to spot the yellow and blackpoll warblers, maybe today. And then here's the photo here. You can see on the left the bay-breasted warbler, and then in the middle there is the Tennessee warbler. And boy, the Tennessee warblers have been singing their little hearts out in the trees around my yard. So they are very, very chatty right now. And then here's another photo here where you can see 2 bay-breasted warblers, and then in the center is that Tennessee warbler. And then here's the chestnut-sided warbler that was waiting for their turn. You can see the little chestnut coloration on the sides of their body, and then they've got that little yellow cap on the top of their head. Really beautiful bird there. And then in the past, we had this photo sent in by Michelle, who had some Cape May warblers coming to her water feature. So the warblers will definitely come to backyard water features, and you might just see them hanging out in your backyard, like these photos that were sent in by Mark, who says, I had a Blackburnian warbler, male and female. And so here's the male, and you can see it's got a nice insect there in its bill. There's the female. And then he had a magnolia and a black-throated green warbler. So you never know what you might just have passing through your yard anyway this time of the year. So I highly suggest putting on the Merlin app and listening to those bird calls that you've got around you, and that'll identify what you have singing in your yard. And if you want to try to bring these birds down closer to you so you can see them a little bit better, of course, like I mentioned, the water is great. And then definitely put out sunflower hearts or a blend with sunflower hearts on it. This is just the inside of the sunflower seed. There's no shells on it. And so some of these smaller birds, like warblers, will sometimes eat the sunflower hearts. And they'll definitely eat mealworms. They are insect eaters, and putting out mealworms is your best bet at attracting them as far as a food source goes. They will eat the freeze-dried, but they prefer the live. So I highly suggest putting out the live mealworms this time of the year. And some of the birds that are active right now as far as warblers go, Wilson's warbler is out there. I saw my first one of the year yesterday. Yellow colored warbler with a little black patch on the top of its head. It was bopping around in the tree. Also saw my first Blackburnian warbler yesterday, which was very exciting. I love these guys. They're my kind of go-to bird that I try to find every year. And I was lucky enough to see one super, super briefly yesterday. But I've been getting their calls picked up here and there on my haiku box. And then yellow warbler. If you are to go outside, especially in a place with any kind of flowering trees or shrubs, and listen, you will definitely hear these yellow warblers. They are very loud. They'll sing all summer long, and there's lots of them around right now. So yellow warbler. And then here's the Tennessee warbler. This is the bird that Lee had in his water feature, and I've been getting so many of them calling in my neighborhood over the past week or so. So they've got a buzzy kind of call, and I bet if you go out with your Merlin app, you'll hear them as well. People are also reporting lots of Cape May warbler and magnolia warbler. I had one pick up my Merlin yesterday. I couldn't get eyes on it, but I could hear the magnolia warbler calling. Bay-breasted warbler, same kind of thing. They're out there, and they're pretty chatty right now. And lots of people are also reporting the blackpoll warbler. And I've been getting that picked up on my Merlin app at home, but I just can't get eyes on this bird. But he's been eluding me, but they are very chatty right now too. And then also American redstart. So if you are interested in warblers, and if you are local to the area, don't forget that Rochester Birding Association has their Wednesday evening warblers going on this week and next week. So they do it all the month of May. On Wednesday nights, you can go out to the Firehouse Woods, the Churchwoods Trail that is out in the Lakeview Community Church. You just park at the church. There's a trail right behind the church. There's also a trail across the street from the church. And these tend to be hotspots for warblers right along the lakeshore. So if you are interested in doing this, this is this Wednesday from 6 till 8 or 8:30, depending on how good the night is. And if you want more information about this event, we have it posted on our website, which is thebirdhouseny.com, or you can check out the Rochester Birding Association page, which is rochesterbirding.org. So that event is going on this week and next. But as we go on in the season and there's more and more leaves on the trees, these birds just get harder to see. So thank you guys very much for watching. Consider signing up for some of the cruises we have left. I'm very excited to be starting those today. And we do have more events going on this season too. You can check out our website, thebirdhouseny.com, to see all of the events that we have planned at the moment, and we've got more that we are working on too. And that's everything I've got for you guys today. As always, you can send in your photos, and we will share them on Saturday on our next broadcast. There's lots of fun stuff rolling in, so make sure to bring your cameras with you when you are out birding and send those photos on in. Doesn't even have to be just of birds, of butterflies and other creatures that you might happen upon. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back on Saturday with another broadcast. And until then, have a great week. Bye-bye.